Thank you, APIA, and also thank you to Bamboo Bridges and Mindy for bringing us together. It's a solemn occasion, but it's also a joyous occasion to talk about what has led from a tragic event. You turn tragedy into a cause, and that's what we're talking about today. You know, the AAPI community, represented by so many leaders here today, is the fastest growing ethnic community in Southern Nevada. You see it all around you: Chinatown, Little Korea, the most recently created Filipino town in District 1, where we were celebrating just last week. But you know, after COVID, the hate crimes and the discrimination and the hateful language against the Asian Pacific Island community just increased, and we have seen it still play out. In Congress, I co-sponsored and voted for a bill that was led by Grace Ming to be sure that we provided resources to local groups like these represented here today to use to educate people and go after those who commit hate crimes against this valued community. And in this day, when they're rolling back the whole notion of diversity and equality, it's especially nice that we would have a district attorney who recognizes and goes after those who commit these hate crimes. So I thank the community, I thank him, and I give my pledge and support as we stand here together to continue to be sure that we are all created equal, we are all treated equal, and that we don't see these kind of horrendous acts against members of our community. So thank you very much for letting me have the privilege of joining you.
You know, I'm here not just representing the AAPI community, but as a citizen who is really incensed by the heinous crime that was committed here. I applaud the district attorney's office for finally bringing this to light. But you know, the one thing that we cannot tolerate is that justice is very, 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 very sometimes ridiculous. And that's a kind word. You know, justice has to be for everyone. And it is not just about the one incident, but it has to be for every time an injustice is brought against one of us, it's an injustice for all. When justice is not served, there is something wrong with the system. We cannot keep walking in fear. We cannot be walking, really worried about what's going to happen to us. Because it's not a privilege, really, it's our right. It's our right. So when we have to remember, and we always have to remember, that justice delayed is justice denied. So please, let us all speak our mind, raise our voices, because if we don't use our voices, we lose it. Thank you.
I stand here today not just as your state assembly member, but as a Nevadan who is an immigrant from Vietnam, and the first to have the honor of serving this role in our state history. Because of this background, I know firsthand the profound importance of unwavering commitment to justice and our absolute zero tolerance policy for hate and brutal crimes. On November 5th, 2022, we were all shaken by the unprovoked assault here in Chinatown. Our victims sustained severe life-altering injuries, and this was not merely just an act of random violence, it's a brazen act of hate that sought to terrorize an entire community. For nearly 2 years, the pursuit of justice in this specific case has rightly raised serious questions within our immigrant communities about the efficiency and fairness of our legal system. We recognize the pain, frustration, and sense of vulnerability this ordeal has cost the over not just 100,000 members of the Las Vegas Chinese community, but also the larger APIA community. As someone who chose Nevada as my home for the last 2 decades, I feel that vulnerability deeply. We are here today to acknowledge and thank our district attorney for his recent decisive action in securing the vigorous prosecution of this perpetrator. This commitment is vital. It sends a clear and undeniable message that in this state, we will protect our diverse population and we will ensure that justice, though sometimes delayed, it is not denied. My office and my colleagues are resolved to work alongside our community leaders and law enforcement to ensure that every necessary resource is allocated to combat hate and bias-motivated crime. We must ensure our laws fully reflect our values. To every Nevadan, especially those in our historically marginalized communities, I implore you to speak up. If you see something, say something. We must hold perpetrators accountable, ensuring that violence like that inflicted upon the victim never should be part of our community. We continue to champion policy that reinforce public safety and guarantee equal justice for all, so that every Nevadan, whether native-born or new to our shores, feels safe, protected, and welcome. Our commitment is absolute. Thank you.